welcome back to a new video. Once again, today I just wanted to do an overall general insight to the crypto market as a whole. I've noticed the past few weeks especially, but mostly over the past few months, the sentiment's becoming quite bearish. Lots of retail investors are starting to lose hope, put in the comments that they're selling the tokens. But I just wanted to remind you guys that we are perfectly still on track. This has happened last cycle, and you got to think last year we had a run from January to March, and then we had nothing for months and months, and then we had a 7-month consolidation where we was trading in the window, and we couldn't get past it or below it, and altcoins kept bleeding up against it. And you had to think, just before the US election, before the markets did have the next leg up, the sentiment was very bearish. No one thought anything was going to happen with some of these tokens. I was reading in comments that people were saying like Cardano, for example, won't even hit 50 cents. So it's quite crazy just in this space how things can change really quickly, and it's almost like the opposite happens to what most of the people think in a way. So if we go to the all-time chart, you can see here we had kind of like a run up last year, early 2024. We was literally trading sideways for 7 months straight. And during this, obviously, altcoins bled out quite heavily against BTC. And then out of nowhere, after the US election, we had a massive leg up in altcoins, lots of altcoins like ADA, and I was going to say Ethereum, but Ethereum's actually done quite poorly so far this cycle. But lots of other altcoins have done quite well, gone up 200 to 300% with the Bitcoin move. So I just wanted to do a video today to kind of say we're still on track. I wouldn't kind of listen to all the noise at the moment. We've got a bullish administration, Donald Trump. He's signed a few executive orders over the past few days, making the US kind of pledge to becoming the digital assets kind of leader of the world. And even though the market hasn't immediately responded to this news, you still have to take it with a pinch of salt that it might have already been priced in to some extent, but once these things start getting signed, over time the money will start flowing back into the market. So that's what I wanted to cover. So Ethereum has actually been doing really poorly this cycle, and obviously in crypto, how it works is that money flows into Bitcoin first, because that's kind of like the face of crypto. Everyone knows what Bitcoin is. Even if you don't know anything about crypto, Bitcoin is kind of the thing you'll have a tiny bit of an idea about. So what happens is, a lot of the time, money flows into Bitcoin first. So Bitcoin will have a big leg up, and then you'll see on this chart on the screen, so obviously fiat currency, so that's like pounds, dollars, euros, that flows into Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a leg up, and then gets to a point where the large money realise, actually, I can't make a significant gain by continuing to invest in Bitcoin. So at the moment, it's currently worth over $2 trillion market cap. So if the market was to continue pumping returns in that asset, it would have to be a crazy sum of money injected in to even to get a 5% return, 10% return. So what ultimately happens is that the money then flows into large cap altcoins. So typically it will go to Ethereum first, because that's the largest altcoin by market cap still, and then it flows into some of the other higher ones like Cardano, Solana, XRP, because basically their market caps are significantly lower. So let's say with Cardano, for example, with its $30 billion market cap as opposed to Bitcoin's $2 trillion market cap, all that would need to happen is a percentage of the liquidity in Bitcoin to go to some of these altcoins, and then they can pump 3 to 5x. And lots of the larger money, that's their way of kind of making decent profit in the market. They kind of have their fun with Bitcoin first, which Bitcoin has been killing it since the end of 2022. It's been in a clear uptrend. And then you'll start noticing some of the large cap altcoins outperform Bitcoin, and then it kind of flows through to the large caps, small caps, mid caps, meme coins, and then it repeats. There'll be a correction, and then it repeats basically. So some news as well that I want to, I say news, some data that I want to share is that in the past 2 bull cycles, in the January following the halving, Ethereum's gone on a crazy run. So you had, obviously, Bitcoin halving was in 2017. In 2018, January, Ethereum printed a 51% return. And then, actually no, never mind, 2017, it still printed a good return. And then you had 2020, 2021, 2 consecutive years, big returns. Obviously 2022, bear market year. You had quite a big return in 2023. However, January 2025, you'd think, similar to 2021 and similar to 2017, would print quite good returns going off historical data. But however, it actually hasn't. It's actually currently down. Obviously, there's still some time left at the end of the month, and it could even just be a few weeks out. It could have a really good February, as you can see. These months where it had a big gain, 2017 in the bull market year, it went a 6-month consecutive uptrend. 6 months down, 6 months in a row. 2020, 4 out of 5 months in a row. So I wouldn't be too fussed about it. The big money is still buying into Ethereum, despite it being criticised for its gas fees, not failing to adapt in the space, just like lots of other altcoins do. Obviously, you've got Cardano, you've got Solana, you've got lots of other coins up in the scene that are starting to get noticed, that can do things much better than Ethereum. Obviously, the advantage Ethereum has is that it was there first and it's the largest altcoin, so kind of naturally eyes are drawn to it more than others. But that could change over time if they fail to innovate. So some news that's very important is that Donald Trump has actually acquired millions of dollars worth of Ethereum. Apparently, he bought over $40 million worth of Ethereum the other week. So obviously, if he's buying into Ethereum and he's the president of the United States, the largest economy in the world, he must know something we don't, or he's got plans to speak to some people or bring some legislation in order to help make that go up. And obviously, going back to the previous crypto flow money chart, it goes to the high cap first. So obviously, Bitcoin's had an insane return. I can see over the next few months the sentiment completely flips for Ethereum. Obviously, you've got the news of Donald Trump buying in. You've got other big whales buying in as well. But if I go to BTC dominance chart, and you'll probably notice as well on this channel, I do actually go to this chart quite a lot. And the reason why I feel like it's quite significant in a way is because every point in history when altcoin season has really started ripping, it's kind of accurately captured when it happens and what the dominance is doing. So if we go to the all-time chart, for example, this one, like Bitcoin dominance really high, comes crashing down, altcoins start significantly outperforming, and this will start happening kind of within the first quarter and will keep going on until like the end of the year, and then it has 3.5 years where it goes back up. But if you see dominance, then it comes down again, just like it did in 2021. Now it's been on the rise. It kind of went down a bit here, but it's kind of found like another lower high. So I do expect that to come down over like the next. Well, I expect sometime within Q1 for it to come down. I reckon next month. And when that does happen, obviously loads of money will flow into Ethereum and then flow into high cap altcoins. Obviously, you've got Donald Trump proposing 0% tax on US-based crypto tokens, so that's going to be a very bullish sentiment as well. And you've got to think, if everyone right now is quite bearish, that's what they want you to think. 95% of people lose money in the market. The sentiment in November before the US election was very bearish. I'd like watch my portfolio go down quite a lot from the March chart. People were like saying they're selling, like calling the YouTubers out, and then literally less than 30 days later, these coins going at 300%. They suddenly look like complete idiots because the sentiment's completely changed. So it's like, what in this space, what you want to happen is for sentiment to kind of be very bearish or very bullish. And the reason for that is if it's in the middle, kind of nothing's going on, it's just kind of going sideways. But the second everything flips super bearish, shortly after everything just goes super bullish again, because the market makers like, actually everyone thinks this way, so let's do the opposite to trick the rest of the market, and that's how they make money basically. Obviously another bullish thing as well is that in the US we're allowing people to kind of use their Bitcoin as leverage to take out as money to buy other crypto. So if I remember last bull run, a lot of the market was controlled by leverage, people kind of buying stuff on leverage, and that's what kind of helped pump the market in a way. Obviously you'd have bigger corrections and dips because of that, so people can get liquidated, but it was something that kind of started controlling the market, and you are noticing that coming back. Obviously on YouTube as well, I'm getting like adverts now for eToro, plus 500, even Coinbase, so it's like you can tell we're trying to get the retail money to come back. So even though it's quite bearish at the moment, I still stand firm in my prediction. I'm going to say by March 31st, for Bitcoin to hit obviously a greater all-time high, and for altcoins especially to start outperforming Bitcoin, I'm going to make a prediction and say at least a $2 to $2.5 Cardano by the end of March. And I think lots of altcoins will print similar returns, especially the US-based ones as well, which if you do go into CoinMarketCap, there's actually now a section where you can just view, I don't know where it's gone. I actually don't know where the section has gone, but there was a section, oh here we go, Made in USA, where you can just filter the coins made in the United States. So if the 0% tax thing does happen, expect all these coins to go parabolic. You've got XRP, that's done very well recently. Donald Trump's in talks with CEO of that. Solana's been doing really well. Donald Trump's token was released on that blockchain. You've got Dogecoin, obviously you've got the Department of Government Efficiency, so that stands for Doge, so that's going to do really well. You've got Cardano, Charles Hoskinson apparently in talks of Washington DC. There's lots of like kind of news and rumours floating around there, deals with SpaceX as well. You've got Chainlink, lots of deals with banks and institutions like that. So all these coins on this list I do feel like will print the greatest returns in this bull run. So I just wanted to do this video today just as a general market insight to what's going on, what I feel that's happening. Obviously the sentiment right now isn't the best, but that's to be expected really, and people seem to forget the sentiment once things start pumping again. So yeah, I do think we can maybe go down for like another 2 to 3 weeks, but then I reckon we'll go back up again not too long into the future after that. Obviously, nothing's financial advice, but I'm just going to pass market data. Obviously, BTC dominance has been pretty accurate. Obviously, I've been going off last cycle data. So, like I said, last cycle in November 2020, that's when altcoins started doing well. We was on a 7-month downtrend in 2024. Boom, November, exactly kind of similar returns to November 2020. So the data actually does track surprisingly well, give or take a couple of weeks. So going off anything, we had a good February in 2021 and a good March. So if data holds out, I reckon we'll go in like quite a 3 or 4 month uptrend from February to May, and then we'll have another correction and then one last pump at the end of the year. So leave a comment on what you guys think, what coins you're invested in. If any of you are interested, like I could share with you my portfolio, what I'm invested in. Obviously, you know I'm quite a big holder of Cardano. I've got a bit of Solana as well. But I thought, yeah, it would kind of help you guys see how I've diversified and why I have diversified and what made me start. Because when I first got in, I just bought Cardano and I realised actually I can diversify and make some greater gains. Solana's been one of my best performing assets. I put £150 in and that's worth £2,500. So I'm just saying it's good to diversify, put your money in different baskets and you'll probably notice decent returns as a result of that. So yeah, trying to think if there's anything else I need to cover. I think that's about it actually. But yeah, I do expect to move. I think January kind of sideways action. I reckon next month in March we'll see good returns. I do think that Bitcoin will continue to go up, but it won't go significantly higher than it already has done, because you got to think it's already blasted past its previous all-time high. It's $2 trillion asset. I don't see how much more money can go into it and how institutions continue to make profit out of it. Obviously you've got BlackRock and stuff, but surely we're going to start coming to altcoins soon where the real money is to be made. It just makes logical sense, and past market data shows that. You've got BTC dominance, you've got 0% pledge tax, you've got obviously Eric Trump, Donald Trump's son, like saying all these things that are rumoured to happen. So it does look very bullish. I feel like this is just a natural call off, so everyone, all the big players can get in before the strategic reserve and everything else starts forming. I mean, yeah, should be to the skies. But I will actually make a video on my exit strategy this cycle, because it is important to take profits, and most people don't. In the craziness of things, of the euphoria and the emotions, it can get quite overwhelming. So I will actually do a video very shortly talking about my profit taking exit strategy and maybe some of the ones you could adopt as well. So yeah guys, thank you for watching and I'll see you guys next time.